Hello, everyone. So you are here for another treat on the Empowerment TV show with Dr. Janelle Jones. Again, thank you for joining. I'm super, super excited for my next guest. I'm super excited for all my guests because they be dropping them gems. Like they come with the stuff. And again, the purpose of the show is to bring authenticity, purpose, and power. We want to be able to help women and men, to really be able to walk into their true authenticity, their purpose, and their power. And all the people that I interview have unique stories. They have businesses, they have their journey, however they got to where they are, to really, really help you. Now, of course, when we go through our journey, we don't feel like, okay, sometimes we don't feel like we're helping people. But I am just so amazed at my guests and how they're able to share their power when they took their own journeys and turn it into helping other people. And that's what it's all about. So today we're going to talk about bet on yourself, how to unlock your inner power. And I am here with my very, very special guest, Miss Ebony D. So she's going to be dropping them gems. And y'all know what y'all need to do. Pass the collection plate. So make sure you get your notebooks and your pens and your pads and really begin to write and make sure you're commenting. So I'm going to tell you a little more about Miss Ebony D. So Ebony D, also known as the Mommy Enthusiastics, has an undeniable love for serving others and performing the works of God. Ebony D is a single mom who is a praise and worship dancer, international best-selling author, health and wellness coach, extreme hip hop instructor, founder and CEO of Self-Love Improvement, where healthy meets the mind, body, and heart, and CEO or co-founder of Pure Hands Home Care. Ebony D is a part of the John Maxwell team, in which she provides personal development, motivational coaching, and training women all over the world, including Australia, Bahamas, Canada, and more. Ebony hosts transformational masterminds throughout the year. So as we go through this, we're going to get some information about how you're able to connect with Ebony, and we're going to get started with today's episode, Bet on Yourself, how to unlock your inner power. So welcome to the show, Ebony. I'm so super glad that you're here.
Well, hey, Dr. Janelle. Hey, everyone that is tuning in. Can I just say thank y'all for being here? Thank you for having me. I'm super geeked.
Yes. Now, I'm going to tell y'all, the reason why I was so into Ebony's story, because we met and she was just really in tune with self-love. And self-love, I know, is something that is going around and we need a lot of it. But when we talked, I was just very, very surprised about, just her journey of how she told me she used to feel very timid. So we're gonna talk about some self-love stuff, but really, I wanted to focus on just your inner power, and her story and what she was sharing with me was so powerful that I was like, we absolutely have to make sure we talk about this on the show. One of the things that you said, so I'm gonna dive right in. One of the things that you said when we initially talked was how that you were timid and you were able to turn that into power. Now, give us the backstory behind that. So take us on the journey about because I'm she was timid. I was very shocked when you said that, right? So take us to that journey of you feeling that timidity and then, going through the aha moment of realizing the power that you have.
Dr. J, yes, that is a very, very good question. And when I look back, I say, oh, God, was that me? Was am I the same woman? Absolutely not. So I will find myself in these rooms of high valued women, high valued men, and I would just shy off to the corner. I felt as if I didn't have enough knowledge. I didn't have enough competency to join in on the conversation that they all were having. Not only that, I just didn't feel equipped. And I kept asking myself, why do I feel this way? Why? And even though people around me will show me love and, hey, this is Ebony, and hey, she's great and she's awesome, I did not feel that. And so even if I had a word to bring to the table, your girl didn't bring a word. I just listened and I took notes.
Wow.
But when I left, Jay, I was so disappointed in myself.
Mm.
And I would continue to beat myself up day in and day out and ask myself, like, I would cry to God at times and say, I don't understand, Lord, why? Why can't I dominate as a woman? Like, let's not even say as a status, as a woman. Like, why when I get around pretty women?
Mm.
Why when I get around women that dress nice?
Mm.
Or why when I get around women that's light skinned with long hair, do
Mm.
I feel like I'm not good enough to even be in a room with them? And I go back and I said, okay, and as I'm talking to God, I'm praying, I'm crying, and all of that, he gave me the scripture, 2 Timothy 1:7, that tells us he does not give us the spirit of fear, but of power, love, and sound mind.
Mm.
I still didn't know what he was talking about. I don't even know what you're talking about at this point. That's not helping me, okay? That's not helping me. So as time go on, I go back, to more self-reflection. I find myself again going to these networking events because, hey, your girl want to do big things.
Mm-hmm.
But then I find myself back in the corner.
Mm.
I would pay attention to my clothes, like, is my heels high enough? Does a blazer fit right?
Mm.
The wrong thing. So to fast forward, I was really feeling down on myself, and one night, Jay, can I tell you what happened?
Yeah, tell me, girl.
Hey, what happened? So one night I was sick and tired of being sick and tired. I had all these ideas. I wanted to be somebody. Can I just be somebody?
Mm.
Like, but the devil would play on my mind. He was like, somebody, really? You suffer from abandonment. You came from poverty, low self-esteem. Oh yeah. You know why you have an issue with light-skinned girls being in a room with light-skinned girls with long hair? Because you remember when you was a kid and you was around those, they were so popular.
Mm.
You remember how you was poor, so your clothes wasn't good enough. Remember how they used to wear name brand clothes and everything was popping? You still that little girl. You're not popping. And I'm like, he's right.
Mm.
He's right. So then I missed out on so many opportunities because I allowed the devil to play on my past.
Mm.
I fell right into his trap of self-sabotage. My mindset was all jacked up. I wasn't good enough.
Mm.
And it showed. I was living a mediocre life. I was surrounded by mediocre people.
Mm-hmm.
And that was just my life for the longest until it all changed.
So before we get into this miraculous way of how it all changed, I want to kind of piggyback on your story, because I'm kind of like, we could have went 9 different ways, but we could have like 5 different shows just on the information that you share. Like, I didn't feel like I was good enough. I was you had the colorism. I'm comparing myself to other brown women, right? Or I'm like, are my clothes good enough? Like, it's so all the things that you struggle with as a child, the enemy threw up in your face when you would go to different events to make it seem like, these were the things that's keeping you back, right? So you got the light-skinned chicks, and you got, and they wasn't even, because you're very beautiful. And I know, like you're like, but from your perspective, that didn't matter, right? Because it was just like, I was in poverty. I didn't have the right clothes. I didn't feel like I was the right color. All those things from my childhood issue showed its head. Listen, when I was an adult, and the enemy used those same things that kept me defeated when I was Ebony, the little girl, when I was going through Ebony, the young woman, or the woman.
Come on.
Mm, mm,
Hey, you could not have put that together any better.
Mm.
And if anyone that's listening, or if you're tuning in or catching a replay, understand if you do not deal with those issues as a child, from your childhood,
Mm.
baby,
Mm.
it will show up in your adulthood. So really, really take heed, y'all. I didn't even know that I was struggling until I decided I want to do something different.
Wow.
The devil gets mad, and he will continue to remind you, for sure.
Yeah. But I love that you said, I didn't know.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what do you say to those people? Because I feel like we have so many people walking the earth that are triggered, and they are reacting out of their triggers, and they don't even know that they are triggered. So when, for you, you like, I didn't know, but when did you, because you had a wake-up call, right? So when did you know, like, okay, this is not, like, I'm being triggered by some things that happened in my childhood?
So I started reading this Bible by Joyce Myers. She had this mindset Bible of the battlefield. I'm actually looking at Battlefield of the Mind. Okay, she has this Bible, and she talks about the feelings, or how they're temporary and they're not real. But what is your reality? You know, and it must have came across the screen one day. And I was like, wow, that's awesome. But then not only that, someone gifted me the Bible, this Bible, just out the blue. I said, okay. And I went right into that scripture that said, this is not real. That's not real. You have to tap into your own reality. And so she didn't give me instruction on how to tap into my own reality, because it's like, well, okay, between her and God, I was like, okay, I'm already confused. Come on now, y'all not giving me any direction here. So I had to sit down with Ebony, you know, and come on, Jay. It's hard to sit down when you're with yourself, when you're working, when you're running a business, you know, even when your mind is just running consistently. Who really sits down with themselves?
And you got kids. Don't forget, you're a mom.
And I'm a mother.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I was an adult. I was definitely in my 20s, y'all. This is not a 16, 17, 18-year-old lost. No, this is a full grown woman with bills, with credit issues, all that. And I'm still trying to figure it out.
Wow. And this is so hopeful this is so powerful. Really, because it's like, let's really deal with that stuff. Like, we ain't talking about little girl. We understand that these issues started there, but I'm dealing with this stuff as a full-grown adult. I'm feeling small.
Come on. Yeah.
As a woman in the room, when I'm walking in the room, I'm feeling small by the things that the enemy uses to trap me, right? I'm feeling small. So that is just, and I love that you were honest about, I'm like, okay, God, and Joyce Meyer, you know, like that to me shows me I have a real relationship with God, right? He's my father, and I come to him like my father, like, all right, where do I go? But then you said I tapped into Ebony.
Come on. I did. I didn't have a choice. You know, I had to, because God will lead you, Jesus will lead you, but then he wants you to do the work too. Okay, I got you this far. Now that I have you here, let's go. And I would literally get up every morning, Jay, until I was, okay, Ebony, let's tap into Ebony today. Yay, let's go. Nothing. I'm trying to tap. Go to sleep, wake up. Hey, let's tap into Ebony today. Let's go. Nothing. But you know what I didn't do? I didn't stop. I said, I'm going to figure this out. I'm going to figure this out. So instead of just sitting with myself, I started taking action. So I began to study. I'm a studier. You know, whatever way you learn, this is how God can connect with you. However you learn, however you understand. He's not going to make it too challenging for you. Okay, if you are a visionary, he will make it visual. If you may get dreams. He will make it to where you understand. So I said, okay, I'm gonna study. I'm a studier. I love education. I love to learn. So who do he put in front of me? Lisa Nichols, Ayanna Vazan, Dave Ramsey, Patrice Washington, okay, Oprah. He began to put all these different people. Eric Thomas, oh my goodness. If anyone knows Eric Thomas, you would think that you're in boot camp when he is literally on the phone, but you feel the passion behind him, wanting you to be the best version of you. Come on now. And then you got Lisa Nichols. She's powerful. She's strong. Oh my goodness. She come from poverty, literally a single mother in poverty. Okay. You got Dave Ramsey, who went bankrupt after being a freaking millionaire.
Mm-hmm.
But who? Eric Thomas, he didn't even have a GED.
Mm-mm-mm.
He's one of the top motivational speakers in the world. And he wasn't famous. He wasn't a Steve Harvey or any of them. He was an ordinary man trying to make it.
Mm-hmm.
And when I sat back and I began to study and I began to read these books and I went on YouTube and I couldn't get enough. Now I'm being fed. So it turned into a habit of listening to people who have made it but came from where I came from. I had to see that I wasn't alone.
Ooh.
We
Girl,
all
wait.
have issues.
Pass the collection plate. Listen, I had to see people like me and know that I was not alone. In other words, that gave me hope.
Yes, it gave me hope. I said, okay, God, I see you. Okay, God. Okay, but God, that's what they're good at. What am I good at? Bad. I feel the passion. I'm ready to go, but what am I good at? And he began to show me, talking to people, communicating, dancing. And I'm like, what am I gonna do with all that? Coaching. Jay. Lisa Nichols says these three, she asked these three questions. One night I was watching one of her programs. She said, where are you? Where do you want to be? And what will it take to get there? But see, I flipped it. Praise God to Lisa Nichols. We appreciate you for going before us. I asked myself, who are you? Who do you want to become? And what will it take to become her?
Wow. Listen, okay, did y'all write that down? Because listen, now she's in her 20s asking herself that. And I know a lot of people who are in their 40s who don't know who they are and what they want to do and where they want to be, and it's sometimes it's really hard to see people, and it saddens me to see people. I mean, I was one of them people, but just to ask these questions to God. There's people who run around who don't even ask God, why did you create me? And what is my purpose? Why am I here? And I think it's Miles Monroe who has a quote that says there's so much potential, or the greatest potential is in a graveyard. Because so many people are there who have not fulfilled their purpose.
Absolutely.
But all you gotta do is ask. So, and I'm not saying it's easy. So, because you're gonna right help us with that. But like, what happened when you asked? Then what?
So I asked God, and I asked myself. I said with myself, I said, man, who do you want to be? And I began to say, I want to be this bold, powerful, strong woman that stands in her power and she dominates any room that she walks in. I no longer want to be timid. Oh, I want to be knowledgeable. I want to be competent in my field of study or in my industry. So I just began to talk to myself and tell myself what I wanted to be. And who do you want? What would it take for you to get there? Discipline, resilience, perseverance. Oh, come on, faith. It's going to take risk. You're going to have to dive into that. You're going to have to leap into something, and you're going to have to be uncomfortable. You have to literally be uncomfortable. I love how, again, Lisa Nichols says that she talks to us about being uncomfortable. If you are comfortable, then you're doing the wrong thing, boo-boo. That's not for you. If you're comfortable, that's not your power. You're just doing what you've learned to do and you became good at.
Oh, that's good.
That's it. Meanwhile, you're leaving purpose on the table. You're leaving money on the table. You're leaving impact on the table. And those people that are waiting on you to deliver them, you're counting them out.
Girl. Listen. Okay. This is so good to me. I was just like, all right, God, because I'm in it. I know we talk. You my homie. If y'all know, she my homie. But listen, so I'm in the bathroom today. Like, all right, God, I know I can do X, Y, and Z, right? But I'm wanting you to take me higher.
Come on.
Like, because not all the things, a lot of the things I do was out of my own strength. I said, but I want to believe you to blow my mind. Right? Like, it's easy for me to do X, Y, and Z, God. Because like you said, I know how to do it, right? But I am tired of doing it in the natural. I want you to put your supernatural on there.
Come on.
Because I know that you would do more for me than I can do for myself. So this is just really... This is so powerful. I am so serious, because it's like we're talking about betting on yourself, right? And just really working with that inner power. And for you, it was like non-existent.
Yeah, I didn't have it. I didn't have it. And, just listen to those people. And I finally said, okay, let's give it a go. All right, God, I see you. Let's give it a go. I'm an introvert. For anyone who does not know me, get to know you, girl. I'm an introvert. I know I'm bold now. God is good, but I'm so like, I'm gonna sit behind the scenes. So God, I began to get into network marketing, and my coach would tell me, "Hey, Ebony, go talk to people. Can I just sit behind the computer and send a DM, or can I send a couple text messages, or how about a flyer? Yay, the flyer. They ain't gotta see. They don't have to see me. I don't have to ask any questions. None of that. I really don't know what I'm doing, so I really don't want them to ask me questions. I don't." She said, that's the only way you're going to be able to grow and make money. So what do you want to do?
Wow.
I go back to those questions. Who are you? What do you want to become? And what will it take you? What would it take for you to become her? I had to go. Nervous, shaking, y'all. I didn't know what I was just talking. And eventually, in my city, and even on social media, I am known as one of the most influential health and nutrition coaches there is. All it took was for me to get one person to believe in me. And when they believed in me and they kept coming back, I said, oh, so I do know what I'm doing. But then I took it a step further and I said, okay, let me be an instructor. Let me become an instructor. I would look at all these instructors once again. That was amazing. I wasn't on their level. And I had my first class and I was just so terrified. But what I do? I kept doing it. Kept having classes, kept showing up, kept going to classes to perfect my craft. And my energy now is unmatchable, okay? You can't match my energy when we come to that. When I'm instructing, the energy is off the chain. It's as when I say I found my lane. I found what I was good at and what I loved. And I became who I wanted to become. I didn't try to be anybody else. I didn't go to try to steal anyone's thunder or anyone's shine. I said, no, God, help me become me.
Mm.
Jeremiah 29:11, you already said you had purpose in the future for me. What's my future? What's my purpose? And then just continue to evolve. So it goes from there to now people are asking questions. We may open up a conversation about self-love. And where that is where my company was birthed. Self-love improvements where healthy meets the mind, body, and heart.
Mm.
Because not only can I help you get in shape, I help you get transform your mind, your emotions. I've been there. So I have these strategies that can take you from A to Z because I decided to bet on myself, do the work on me first. I was my own client.
Oh. Mm.
And then and it's just who I am now.
Mm.
And Jay, Dr. J, I can go in any room. I don't care if I have on jeans and some fly-ins. Hey y'all, it's your girl Ebony D. What you doing?
Mm-hmm.
And the other thing I can tell you all is when you bet on yourself and you believe in yourself, you start attracting those 1%ers.
Mm. Mm.
Jay.
So listen, so okay. You said a whole bunch, girl. So I'm like, wow. One of the things that you said that was really so powerful to me was, hey, when I initially started this thing, I was still scared. I'm shaking in my boots. I was still afraid, but I kept doing it anyway. Right. Mm-hmm. So if you're taking that, do it afraid. I think 80% of the people don't start because they're afraid. Probably more than that if we're being real honest, but at least 80% of the people don't start to do something because they are afraid and they spend years in this fear. Whereas if you just do the thing, you perfect it, you get better, you get better, you get better. So you don't come out like, I know how to do all this stuff. You practice. And a lot of times it really kills your purpose when you're sitting there saying, well, I'm not going to try. So do it afraid. You have someone to believe in you. And that's really key because, who you with plays an important part of your journey. Like you really need people in your corner. You need people in your life that's there for you. Like you can't keep having people who are like, bringing you down. It's almost like being in a hot air balloon. You're trying to rise up and these people, because they're failing to level up. And then, hey, there's not anything wrong with them if they don't level up. The issue is you don't stop that from you leveling up, right? You keep pushing up. But the fact that it's like, I just had to release and let go, because if you don't cut those ties, some of that stuff hurt. Some of us, we try to go all the way back and get the homies, right? And we want everybody, we have this epiphany, right? We oh my God, I got this information. We go back to the homies and they're like, and then we be like, and then God, right? God is like, no, that was for you. And then you're an introvert. Because I have a lot of people who say I'm an introvert and people are very surprised that I'm an introvert, right? However, you're able to say, yes, I'm an introvert. An introvert to me doesn't mean I'm super shy. It's like I need my space. I need to I don't want to be out there. I can do better at home. Like you said, I'm texting, I'm behind the scene. It's just a lot of energy. It's so much energy to be around people and do that stuff, right? Don't allow your introvertness to stop you from living in your purpose. Because like you said, you got people that you are called to serve, who is calling on you to reach your goal. And you send them there like, and it's like, that's such a disservice to you, your family, and your God. So we got to get it together. So you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. And I really want people to understand that I had to realize that the things that I'm concerned about, God is concerned with. Mm-hmm. But some things are so small to God. We amplify.
Listen.
Oh, they're not gonna like me, or they gonna say something if I mess up. Oh, I don't have the verbiage together. Oh, no, I'm not going to do it. But your God is so big that he will take the words coming out of your mouth and he will allow it to fall on the right ears that is for you. And if people understand, if people critique you, because people critique me, but I take it, and if it helps me, I use it. But if it doesn't help me, I just don't accept it.
Yeah.
You know, we have to get to that point where you know who you are and what your purpose is, and you only listen to what God is telling you, y'all. I'm telling you, once you lock in with self and you lock in with God, and really lock in, you will experience an undeniable confidence, y'all, in your sleep. You will fall asleep confident, you'll wake up confident, walk past the mirror confident. You will be so confident that it will begin to pierce through. And even like I was telling Dr. J, even going to church at times, I was around these women, but now I'm good. I'm good with Ebony, y'all. So sit with yourself, reflect with yourself, reflect with God. Let him lead you. And another thing that I did, I did everything wrong in life. I didn't get nothing right. Nothing. I'm like, I think I'm supposed to go right. God really said go left. He trying to get me to go straight. I'm sitting still. I didn't do anything right. Like, what? So what I said was, Ebony, quit being stubborn. Allow God to lead you. So I make it a habit to say, God, I don't want to go before you. I lay down my will for yours. Like, my will is not good enough. I know that you know what you have for me. Just help me to see that. Now, it's okay to be confused. People say, oh, well, God won't confuse you. We may come to him confused. Yeah. Now, he will help that confusion, but you may come to him confused. Yeah. And I say, Lord, I'm going to lay my will down for y'all. And living testimony today, y'all, as Dr. Janelle said, she want Jesus to blow her mind. He has not stopped. He has not stopped. And another thing is because I am operating in the purpose and the power that he has given me in Timothy 2:1-7, in the love, y'all. I love to love. I love it.
And I think this is where we have to really, you said something like really get to know who we are and kind of like identify those things like you did. I noticed that when I went to networking events, that's when I'm triggered. That's when these things come up, right? But what would you tell the person, why or how or why is it important to identify your power?
It is important to identify your power. For one, it increases your confidence. Once you identify your power, you're able to connect with other people without feeling that you shouldn't be there. Okay. Not only that, when you identify your power, you're able to ask for what you want, okay? Then you're able to set certain boundaries as well. And that's in partnerships. If you're starting a business with someone or in anything, you're able to set those boundaries. It is not only professionally. If you're timid in a professional setting, you're probably timid in a personal setting. But once you understand who you are and the value and the power that you hold, y'all, you unlock abundance in your life. You unlock that abundance, y'all. And I'm not always talking about money. I'm talking about just fruit, just good fruit. Being connected to good people and being able to step into rooms. For instance, people mention my name and I'm not even there. I went to an event the other day, and this lady said to me, she said, "You Ebony, right?"
Mm.
I said, "Yes." She was like, "I know you."
Mm.
He said, "We met before?" No, but she told me that a person that she knew me, and that's how she know me, because she know of me because of someone else.
Mm.
But understand that someone else was a high value woman.
Wow.
But I was able to connect with her because I stepped in my power, y'all. So I am telling you, you have to identify the problem. What is holding you back from becoming the best version of you? Okay. Don't be afraid to go back to that childhood. If you have to cry, shed a couple tears, go talk to people because you're mad, but do it.
Mm-hmm.
You need to operate in your power to obtain and walk in your purpose, y'all, to live and become the best version of you.
And I love that because we don't really understand that we are like supernatural beings. Like if we like for Lisa Nichols, for instance, she's a Lisa Nichols and Oprah Winfrey. Let's both of them. They're able to manifest at the drop of a dime.
Yes.
Because they know they absolutely are aware and they absolutely know their power. Like Oprah said one time, I don't need a vision board because I can manifest like that. I said, Oprah, right? And you cannot manifest anything in your life financially, like spiritual, like you cannot manifest anything if you don't know that you possess the power that you have. And manifestation is such, like you were talking about the abundance. Manifestation is such an amazing gift, because we sit here and struggle and try to do all this figuring out. Listen, let's be honest, Ebony. We both grew up in poverty. When you grow up in poverty, and I'm not saying people who haven't grew up in poverty don't have this issue, the struggle was real in poverty.
Yes.
So sometimes you have this mindset like, if I want something, I got to work hard. And you do, you got to put in the work. But when you add God's supernatural on top of that, you know what I'm saying? Gotta meet you. You got to do the work. Faith without work is dead, right? You got to do the work. However, when you are trusting God, you ain't sitting up here like I'm working 24 hours and you know what I'm saying, to try to figure this one project out. God to start dropping ideas, connecting you with people. Like it's so amazing. But if you don't know the power that you have inside, you're not going to manifest. You're not going to do any of those things. So this is why we're really dealing with, and you see how Ebony talked about betting on herself. Now she's in rooms with people who are high value people that's betting on her. So betting on yourself, it creates this residual effect where other people will bet on you too.
Wow.
So you have to learn how to really understand the importance of betting on you, because if you don't, who will?
Who will?
Who will? So now listen, I know you're the self-love expert, right? Can you tell us if there's any connection between self-love and unlocking your power?
Absolutely. As you were stating that when you feel low, your vibration is low. Okay. When you feel like you don't have enough, that's the vibration you're putting out in the universe. And understand that will return. When you don't love yourself, you attract these certain type of people that will misuse you and abuse you and make you feel even lower. Which means you cannot go higher. You can say all day, I want to be bigger, I want to be better. But if you truly don't begin to love the person that you see in the mirror, I'm talking about flaws and I'm talking about bare naked, y'all. If you do not love that person that has been chewed up and spit out, if you don't love that person who has been forgotten about, if you don't wrap your arms around her and say, I know you've been through so much, but I still love you and I'm going to help you get back in shape. If you don't pour that into you, you will never experience confidence, self-esteem, and going to the very next level. And I'm not telling you something that I heard. I'm telling you something that I know. And how did I start my self-love journey? Broken, abandoned, hating myself, overweight, single mother, working all these jobs, y'all. I was a single mother, literally working for the state, working at a restaurant, and cleaning a bank. I didn't see my son. I didn't see my son. We would go to sleep. I would pick him up, y'all, at 10, 11 o'clock at night. I had to be at my first job at 7:30 in the morning. The only time I seen him was dropping him off from sitter to sitter. And I would cry I'm like, my baby, I would miss milestones, and I would just cry every night. God, please, I don't know what to do. And it was driving me insane. But it wasn't God, y'all. I'm still calling on God. And he's saying, I've given you, I gave you everything in you, just use it. You're asking the same question. But guess what? I did the same thing. And so, but then as I published my first book, I realized the self-love thing was so important also to building your confidence. So I built myself up. I dropped that 50 pounds, y'all. I started eating better. I had a self-love routine. I don't play about my self-love routine, y'all. And when I say my self-love routine, I take breaks. If I'm working 8 hours, I'm taking my break. I'm not hopping on the phone with anyone. I'm literally sitting with Ebony saying, how do you feel right now? I know that was a hard call, or I know that conversation didn't go too well, but how are you feeling? How did that make you feel? And I have to constantly talk to myself and get a hold of my emotions. And I had to I do that. I have that routine every morning. I get up, I affirm myself, y'all. I get up at 4:30 in the morning. Why? Because I need me time. I can't, my son, once he gets up, it's time to be a mommy. No, I need me time. I do not play about my self-love routine. So now I'm refreshed. My mindset is ready to go for the day. I'm feeling good. I feel confident. I'm still, working on my intake of my foods, my waters, my body is right. I just put this dress on, y'all, the other day, and I lost some more weight. I said, your girl is good. Let's get it, y'all. I'm getting muscles in my arms, and it's because I'm taking that time, but not only physically, mentally and emotionally, y'all. And my confidence, my friends, everyone tells me, girl, I wish I had the confidence you had. So understand, y'all, you have to love yourself, okay? It's a non-negotiable.
And you know what is interesting is I love how you talked about, listen, my self-care routine is non-negotiable. Like, I gotta do this, and it's to protect me, right? Because I see a lot of people, I've been guilty of this, who will say, I love myself. They go in the mirror and say their little affirmations, and they don't, it's head knowledge, but it's not heart knowledge.
Yeah.
Right? Because then when homeboy trying to holler at you, and then you're like, okay, you know what I'm saying? You start to lower your boundaries. You start to accept stuff that you don't normally or shouldn't accept. You start to do stuff. Listen, I get it. And you really have to kind of refocus and ask yourself, are you truly loving yourself?
Absolutely.
Like, what are you missing? Like you said, like you felt abandonment. And I know, some of those issues, like when you're not loving yourself, those rejection, abandon issues all come, and they're resurfacing. You're not dealing with them. So, but there is a connection, like you said, between, because if I love myself, you're not going to just treat me any type of way.
You know, Jay, God is so good, y'all. And I get so excited about self-love. I go back down memory lane. Yeah, I went from street men. I actually housed men. Okay.
Mm.
I paid men bills.
Mm.
I got men jobs. You know, I did it all. Okay. And it's because I wanted, once I had a man, so I called him my man, but now that I know they weren't my man. You know, I don't know what we was doing, okay, but situationships, okay, and I did all of that because I really didn't love Ebony, and I want you to understand it's a difference. So society will look at me and say, "Oh, she's doing good. She got a nice car. She got a good job. You know, she dresses decent. You know, she can do what she want to do." In the society's eyes, I was good, but I know I was not the only one that was still hurting on the inside. I was not the only one begging a man to stay. You know, but in front of people, I'm hardcore. Oh, he's cool. He can go. But at home, I'm like, please don't go. Like, what do I need to do? What do I need to do?
Wow.
Wait, when I fast forward to today, I can't even hold conversations with those same type of men. I can tell you in two conversations if you are someone I want to connect with for the long term.
Wow.
And I have no problem telling a man I'm not interested. I don't have to wait and go on a date because I want free dinner. No, you're not for me because I know what works for Ebony, and that's not going to work. It's not. But that only take place, as Dr. J was stating, when you learn to love yourself, it literally flows into every aspect of your life, every aspect.
And this is so good because I see so many people, like you said, been there, done that, where it's like, you know, they want to start these relationships, business, relationship, friendship, and all that stuff. That same energy you have in your personal life will be that same energy that you have in your professional life. So you have to deal with yourself. Like, don't, you know, like you'll have people who try to fight it or hide it, and they try to become like Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. But eventually those things will come up and you have to really deal with you. And loving yourself isn't just getting up and saying affirmations about who you are. You know, like it's so funny because I walk my dog. Now my dog is interesting. But I have come to the conclusion, like, I have to walk him in the morning, or I'm not going to be able to drink my coffee and eat breakfast because he's going to disturb me. So I said, well, look, how can I use this time wisely? So I pop in my manifestation information. You know, I'm like, let me pop in my AirPods and, you know, listen to something. I'm walking down the street of my neighborhood, walking this dog, and I am, okay, Lord, thank you. I am walking, saying this stuff out loud.
Come on.
And I wouldn't be able to, like, if you would have asked me to do that 2 years ago, I would have been like, I'm not doing that. I'm embarrassed. They're gonna probably think I'm crazy. You know, like I'm like walking on a main street. I mean, like sidewalk, like, yes, I'm over height. Lord, thank you. Like, because it's just like, okay, do you want this stuff to manifest? And I'm saying that because I'm saying that when I learned to love myself, I stopped really caring what other people thought of me, you know, and I was a people pleaser, right? And I just really was just like, okay, you think I'm crazy, but my God don't. So I'm talking to God. So it'd be like, you could think what you want to. And I want you to be able to like relieve yourself and free yourself, you know, because some of us are 50 years old, 60 years old, and we're still caring about what other people think about us. We're not showing up as our best self because we're still worried about somebody from 20 years ago who done moved on and ain't thinking about you.
Woo.
But let me tell you, when you talk, first of all, I want to tell you, I want to okay. First of all, I want to say thank you for being vulnerable and sharing your story. Because the fact that you like, basically, I was messing with these hood dudes. And then when Ebony started to evolve and Ebony started to love herself, like you couldn't even, it was no comparison between that Ebony and this Ebony. Because it was like, no, you don't even like whatever's coming out your mouth. If it ain't for me, it's against me. And I'm shutting that down.
Period. What they say on period or dot period, whatever they say now, I have no idea.
Yes.
And I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. And I tell people all the time, I'm so grateful for my scars. I'm grateful for my wounds. I'm grateful I had to go through that journey of learning how to love me. Oh, I'm grateful for all the hood dudes. I'm grateful for them because I could be now chasing that. I could now be still thinking I want that, you know. So I'm so grateful for evolving, y'all. It's never too late. Okay. If you are watching this and you're looking for a sign, it's probably about time for you to step into your power. It's probably about time.
God probably has been, what I know is God, we ask questions and we ask God to do stuff and he'd do it and we'd be like, is that you, God? Right? So the mere fact that you're watching this YouTube channel means it's time for you to step up, really begin to love yourself. Now, let me ask you this. What does it mean to bet on yourself? And why do you feel like people, especially women, struggle to do so?
Oh, so good. What it means to bet on yourself is do it anyway. Believe it. That what you put in is what you will get out. If I go all in, I'm gonna get all out. Everything I put in, and it's going to multiply. Okay. You have to bet on yourself is doing it when no one else will do it with you. And it's so scary, y'all. You may not have family members that want to go with you. You may not have friends that believe in your vision. Okay. You may say, I want to marry a man that's, just going to put me on give me a white picket fence and on the hill. Girl, we don't come from that background. But you have to say, no, you know what? I'm going to position myself and prepare myself for that promise. Betting on yourself is saying yes to you when everyone else is saying no. One thing I learned in network marketing is you will get a lot of no's, a lot of no's. No, thank you. No, not today. No, never. That's fine. But then you will get a yes. And you never know where that yes can take you. So you have to do it regardless. If God lays it on you, go forth. Go forth. And just have that faith, y'all. Faith will take you so far, y'all. So far. Today, I seen God working these miracles around me. The moment the devil tried to steal my mind today, y'all, because your girl had a moment today. God came right back and dropped something else. And I said, thank you. Thank you. So I really want you all to understand you have what you need. Hairstylist, beautician, barber, if you're a dancer, if you sew clothes, if you're a designer, if you're an artist, motivational speaker, if you're good with photography, you have it. You have what you need.
That's good.
Well, what was the second part to that question?
So when it comes to that, I see a lot of women, and not to say men doesn't do this, but why do you think women struggle? Because I'll see a man be like, babe, I'm about to start a business, right? I'll see a woman go, let me ask my husband to, do X, Y, and Z. And I'm not saying like you don't need to have conversations with your spouse especially when it comes to financial investments. But what I am saying though, women tend to ask permission.
They do. And I think, oh, y'all, please don't get mad at me. Oh, y'all, please don't get mad at me. Validation.
Yes.
And I know this because I deal with women like that. They want their husbands to be okay with what they're doing. They want their husband to support them, and or boyfriend or whomever. You don't do it because you don't, the one that you're connected to, you may not have that support. And if they say, like you said earlier, that puts that inside of you. However, a man is dominant. Majority of the men are dominant, and they're going to do it whether you like it or not. But a woman is so concerned about keeping the peace, and I just want to do what makes the family happy. So they're concerned with the family. And I feel that they shy away from, or they bury, their gifts and their talents and all of that, because they're mothers, or they're caretakers, or they're nurturers, and you have a family to take care of. The home is your responsibility. Society has put so much on mothers and on wives. You ain't got time for that. You don't have time to be building no dreams and building no empires.
No.
And that is why I think women struggle. But I'm here to tell women, with you, if you step out, oh, y'all, don't get mad at me. If you step out and do you, he more than likely he will support you.
Yeah.
And even if he does not support you, still step out and do you.
Yeah.
Because he's going to step out and do him.
Listen, now let me give you some personal story about that. Like, I started my business in 2017, and I was just like, you get the okay, that's nice, okay, and you get that, but then it's like you want all these other things that's kind of attached with it. Like, okay, I want you to be here, I want you to do this, I want you to do this, I want you to do this. And then I, to the point where it'd be like, is this even worth it, or should I be doing this? And I finally got to the space where I was just like, I need to make the best. First of all, I have a purpose. No matter if I'm married, no matter what, God created me for a reason. I need to figure out what that reason is, because I'm responsible for my purpose, right? So even if my husband or my kids are not in agreement with it, I am still responsible for what God told me to do and why he planted me on this earth. That freed me, right? So now, because today I started a self-care business, and my husband's like, what is this box for? And I'm like, oh, it's just something. Because now I just be like, you know what? If I feel like God is leading me to do something, if I have a dream about something, I'm acting on it, because I waited too long to not act on my visions and my dreams. And for someone who did not create me, now I ain't trying to tell you to get your divorce or go to your husband, like, you ain't create me, but for someone who did not create me and did not put me on this earth, I'm gonna go to who created me to figure out what I need to do. Not, I'm my husband's help me, I'm his, I'm the intuition person. Hey, I'm all of that. God gives us those gifts as women. But just because I'm married doesn't mean I don't have a purpose. And I see so many women who the kids, the kids that went to school, they then poured everything into their kids. And I'm not saying don't, but they put so much into their kids, the husband, the cat, the goldfish, the dog, and they poured all this into their families, that they get to this stage, and a lot of times it's okay, we're about to hit the empty nester, and they don't know who they are.
Oh, so good.
Because their identity has been so connected to even church. I remember my identity was so connected to church, not God. That's
it's a difference.
It's a difference. And I love church. I'm not saying but it was connected to church, and it wasn't connected to God. And I'm telling you, it just took away. So I'm glad that you're sharing that, though. Like, like you have to bet on yourself. Even if you bet on yourself and it doesn't work, learn from that.
Ooh, you said it. Yeah, absolutely. Like I was telling one of my friends the other day, I said, you get in, even in these relationships, you get in a relationship and it doesn't work. I said, no need to be sad, hurt. It didn't work. I thought it was. You either win or you learn. There is no losses, y'all. There isn't. And you just get better and better and better.
Yes. But you have to learn, because if you don't, you're just stupid. And I hate to say that on camera, but I'm being honest. Because it's like it's no need for you to keep going through it, right? When you are the apple of God's eye, and there's nothing God, like if you have kids and you know that no matter what your kids do, you love your kids. And that's how much God loves us. But we don't take that to heart. Like, no matter what I do, God is going to love me. It don't mean it give you a free card to be out here wild now, because you will get there will be consequences. Right? It means though that, like there's nothing in your life that will stop God from loving you, but you have to embrace that love, that power, because I think that's, a good power source too, and really go from there.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I love this. So what is the first step? Because I know some people are like, okay, well, how do I do this? So what is the first step that you recommend in identifying how to step into your power? What do I need to do first in order to do that?
So what I would suggest, and again, the same thing that I walk my clients through, is identify why are you not stepping into your power? Why are you not operating at a higher level? Like, what is it? Stop it. Is it, like we said, marriage? Is it family? Is it, your childhood wounds? What is it? And the only way you can really identify that is if you do two things. Ask God to reveal it to you. And then two, you begin to self-reflect. Y'all. You will not learn, like when you're dating someone, how you get to know them is you be around them, you spend time with them. It's the same thing with yourself. You want to understand what is holding me back. Once you understand what that is, the next thing I did again was ask myself, okay, I know this is my reality, but I want to transition and transform my reality into what though? Do not go out here blind. It's like, y'all remember being in school and they would you have a quiz coming up and they would give you the study guide. You didn't go in the blind not knowing what was on the test. So if you're going to step into your power, you got to begin to study the person that's stepping into the power, and what power are you stepping into?
That's good.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's like being aimless. Like, I'm just shooting darts. No target.
Right.
Yes.
Wondering why you keep missing. So those are first things I would say to do, y'all, is really get connected with self. And like, it doesn't have to be hard. Just ask those questions. And if you have to ask yourself those every single day, do that until you're able to answer them.
That's good. This has been so good. Like, I can literally keep talking for like a few hours. Because it's so important to really understand. And as women, I think we also possess a great power of intuition. I think so. If we're able to tap into those things, like one of the things that when you were talking earlier, I meant to mention this, is when I think about tapping into my power, I think about removing or releasing my comparison. Like, if I tap into who I truly am and who God truly created me to be, I don't have to compare myself to this person or that person or that person. Like, doesn't like that. And I meant, because you kind of said something about that earlier. Like, I don't have to look at old girl over here and compete with her. you know, I am able to truly, because some of us don't really truly appreciate especially other women. I can
Yes.
truly appreciate this sister over here
Yeah.
and love her, genuinely love her, and still be cool with like I'm that chick too, and that's okay. If we put our lives together, we're not dimming nothing.
Come on.
It becomes brighter.
Yes. Absolutely, y'all. And if you all, I'm sure you've all already watched several shows with Dr. Janelle. Amazing, powerhouse. Okay, phenomenal.
Thank you.
But Dr. J and I can have these conversations and celebrate each other on a regular.
Yes.
And it's because of the power that we know we hold within ourselves.
Yes. And then, it's so interesting. We connected through her sister, and then we've been clicking ever since, and we just been, hey girl. So I appreciate it. I know you're powerful. I love, I love being on her show. She has a show. We'll talk about, everything that she has going on too. But listen, I just want us to be able to really bet on ourselves, like roll that dice, and just use that power that you have on the inside of you to create the life that you want. You don't have to live in this like world of it. Some of us are still living in our childhood past hurts and traumas. And I just want I just want people to get free from that. And I want you to understand and really get more information from Miss Ebony, because she is like all over the place, in a good way, with just because she focused on, self-care, love, the mind, the body, all of that. So I know she'll be able to really help you. So Ebony, tell us where to find you, what you do, where to go visit your website. Give us more information about you.
Yes, you all can follow me on Instagram. I am Ebony D, where I post a lot of content on the mind, body, and heart. Y'all asking self-reflection questions as well to get you thinking. You can also follow me on Facebook at I am Ebony Davis. And then you can go to my website at ebonyddavis.com. There you will be able to learn a little bit more about me, what I do, and then how we can definitely work together. Y'all, I'm all down for, free discovery calls just to get your mind to shifting, and to be, I'm so passionate about, before I could make money from this, I wanted to become impactful. After the impact came, the increase came, y'all. So I'm passionate about it. So yeah, follow your girl. Also, I do have a radio show called Real Self-Love Talk with Ebony D. I'm serious about that self-love. And you, if anyone is interested in being on the show, drop your girl DM.
Yes. So we're going to put all that information in the actual description so that you can connect with her. Now, all my guests, I don't want y'all to be playing with them because they're powerful, and they actually have something for you to take away. So make sure you follow her, sign up for your discovery call, sign up if you're really serious about her talk show. Her talk show is so dope. Sign up, take advantage of this information that you need. So I know people are still struggling with their self-love, because self-love is one of those things that's not super easy to overcome, especially if you had a lot of traumas and stuff. So she's giving you the blueprint for you to actually do it. So be sure to follow Miss Ebony. Ebony, thank you so much. I just want to say thank you for being vulnerable and sharing your stories. I know that it helps so many people tonight or today, whenever you're watching. So I just want to say thank you for being vulnerable. It really helping people, because I believe that it caused them to be free. Take these notes. Make sure you're taking heed to this advice and implementing it. If you do implement this information, I guarantee your next year will look so different.
Come on. Absolutely. You all are amazing. Be great, be kind, love on yourself, and love on others.
Yes. So once again, thank you for tuning into Empowerment TV. Always remember to be authentic, purposeful, and powerful. See y'all soon. Bye.